I'm going to hit intro. We'll be right. Okay, one more second or two, three. This is Fun University. YouTube's acting a little bit funny, so we're going to see what we can do. Okay, let's do this class, shall we? Thanks for being here, Australia and Sweden. Where's the Americans? The Canadians, where are you guys? Hi, I'm Mary Gunn. Welcome to Fun University. Hello, I'm Mary Gunn of Mary Gunn Fun, founder and head professor of Fun University. Welcome to, I guess it would be Fundamentals. What is this? 84, and we're going to talk about Slimline cards. The horizontal or landscape ones, because, you know, it's like my least favorite. True confessions, I hate them. No, I don't hate them, but they are, I think they're one of the hardest cards to make. So we're going to talk about why. Why is it so darn hard to do one? And some things to just keep in mind when you're making them. I have a huge pile of them. So I must not hate them. It's not like squid. I hate squid. Oh, I don't know if I do or not, but I think I hate squid, so I've never eaten it. But I've made plenty of cards. Yeah. Plenty of cards. Let's go down to paper. Thank you guys for being here tonight. Judy and 5K. 5K, you have a big anniversary with Craft Roulette. Yes. And Christina and Karen. Oh, it's so weird, Karen, to be thinking of going into summer. Because we are definitely going into the colder weather. Just to start us off, I don't like Slimline horizontal cards so much that I made up my own size, which is I call a little chubby. And a little chubby is a slimline that eats donuts. A few too many. The little chubby is 4 inches by 8 inches. This is only 3.5. It's only a half an inch less, but I think it just gives you so much more room. With the 4 inch, you're more familiar with an A2 size card, because if you cut that off at 5.5, you've got basically an A2 size card. So since most people in the whole wide world, it seems like, oh, squid's good. Well, you can have all the servings. We're so used to this little shape, maybe some little chubbies might be fun. But they're not much different, but they feel a whole lot different to me. What about you? So this is basically my pile is 8 by 3.5. Except for a few, and there's a whole bunch. I've got just a big pile. I have no idea if I'm going to make a card tonight or not, but we've got so many ideas. You did see this one. I made this one on Craft Roulette on Friday night. That was episode number 84. I already said that once. And okay, so what do I think about this card? Well, it turned out okay. I think it was Sharon from the Red Chair that said it reminded her of Andy Warhol. And so I was highly, highly honored with that, even though the fact that he had some issues. He was a creative, very creative artist. So that was real nice to be likened to him. Couple things, design-wise, you've just got this long honk. Let's look at the back. You've got this long honking space, and when you're looking straight down here, if you're looking right in the middle, you don't see, unless you have really good peripheral vision, you may not see the edges too well. Now, that's not true on an A2 size card. You look right in the middle and you can see pretty much the whole card. So you've got that whole vision thing that's an issue going on with these horizontal, or I may never put them back on the wheel, horizontal or landscape card idea. Landscapes, let's just talk a second about landscapes. If you were talking, I think we had this early on in Fun University on the public side, which you are right now. By the way, welcome to Fun University. It's the one with fruit. And we talked about if you had one big line on a card, how it's boring. And so, I mean, Andy Warhol probably would do it. But then you start sticking different little planes and breaking that plane up some more, and it becomes more interesting. So your job when you make a long card like this has a lot to do with movement. You've got to get your viewer to look across the card or right in the middle and have like bookends on the ends. It's really tricky, and so I can see why people have stayed away because it is tricky. Let's look at what kind of shape we've got going compared to an A2. Well, you can't see it too much. This is just, you just have a little bit skinnier, but look at how much more. You have almost double, especially if it's this orientation. But you've got at least a third again that you have to deal with. So give yourself a break if this is hard for you. I mean, seriously, it's tricky. So let's look at a couple. This is another one I did, and I put acetate on it. I thought maybe I would put some food, some fish food down in there. So I made that tank so you could still open it up. Nah, I wasn't going to put any fish food in it, but that was pretty fun. Here's one that is not horizontal, but it's vertical, and it also has acetate on it. And we did that at Fun University when it was a private group, but it's a little bit smaller also. So if you are thinking slim lines, you can also alter the size a little bit. I go into my little chubbies, but you can also make them a little bit smaller for effect. I mean, that's pretty dramatic, isn't it? Didn't that add just a little bit of, I don't know, flair or something to make that just a little bit thin? Let's see. He's only lost a half an inch, but doesn't he look long, like a long, tall drink? Oh, okay, Karen, you girl in the back row, liking the landscape better than to portrait. I like the portrait. I think it's easier to work with. So there's a couple that I made even skinnier. Here's one. Okay, here's one. What do we have going on here? That was, I almost put that one on, except I didn't have a window. And then I thought, well, I could cut a little hole right here with a little mouse sticking through his head, but I already had 2 cards, so I was okay. We've got a card, orange background, but we have some movement going on. We've got the happy over here, and then we've got the fall to pull our eye right on across to the other side. We also have a little darling piece of twine that's wrapped around the little leaves. We also have this guy pulling us along. We've got our little visual triangle with our green, just to keep things all together and making sense. But this having it up here, happy fall. See how your eye moves across. So you have some pretty good movement. You've got this too. I may have been. Nah, I don't think I'd like it better with any kind of horizontal. Let's see, let's find a couple more horizontal. I think I have mostly portrait, which I will teach you why you must love them. Oh, okay, the wheels made you and that's why you've done it. Yeah, that's good. You love the slim lines. This was one, this one is actually broken up. This is a good illustration on how you can take this long piece of cardstock and break it up into smaller pieces. So if you you can just, this was a card, oh my goodness, we did this on the private site too, but this has just a bunch of interactive little fold outs. This one, oh, I bet I put that glue on there to hold it shut while I was taking a picture. And then it goes under, well, maybe not. Maybe it was wrong. But there's that one. Does this one fold? No? See, you get a couple fold outs and you start thinking they all fold out. Wonder if I wanted that to. I don't know. There we go. These were, these little fish, these little guys are cute. And they were from all those mailings we get with all the return addresses. I just cut the ends of the return addresses off and matted them. They already have sticky backs, so they're like stickers. And I matted them and just used them on the card front. And this is just breaking up that long space into a smaller grid. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different shapes there with a couple interactives, which makes it a little more interesting. Here's another one where we have broken up the, where we've broken up that long space into 3 smaller cards, and they're actually interactive also. Happy, we're, is that a cat purr? Happy, we're friends. So that would be a fun card. That would be a fun card to get to, I think. And that's just broken up so that you can get from here to here. Got a little bit of bookends here. We've got these 2 with the vellum on the ends. And this guy is special. He looks, he has the vellum carrying over, but he doesn't have the entire panel on him. So he feels like part of the gang. Isn't that nice to feel like part of the gang? But he still feels a little special on his own too. It looks like I did some white inking just to soften him on there. And did a bunch of little polka dot stamps to make it all tone on tone to make my own paper. I think this one's really cute, actually. And then on the inside, you have plenty of room to write. That's kind of a cool thing. You can also write this way. And I tend to write a lot, so I do like that about these cards. You have plenty of room to write. Okie doke, here is, you can only get a couple on at a time, huh? Here we have a big, bold guy right in the middle. He is so bold. He is definitely holding court and making your eye go right there. There's no doubt, in my mind at least, who needs to be, what's supposed to be going on in my head. This card wants me to see this guy. So he's nice and bold. He's right in the middle. Could you move him over? I don't really know. I guess you could. Would it be completely different? Let's see. I've got one right here for us. It's not as bold, but we do have the same, we have a happy birthday over here on the side. We do have some action over here with the tone on tone, and this is sanded, so you get some white in there. And you also have this pretty bold little piece of twine helping you take in the whole card. This has quite a bit of subtle demandingness here. It's okay though. I like it. It's got it's saying, you know, I'm the special part of the card. And so I think I just finger painted this great big explosion of a flower and put the happy birthday in there, and did a little Versa mark and some clear embossing to make it be very special. Nothing remarkable on that card except that you know where you're supposed to look. You've got the bow there. You got a little extra, hey, I'm right here. I want to tell you happy birthday. Don't you be having a sad birthday ever, because I am here to say happy birthday. So you've got that, but you've got a little bit of support over here with the twine and the little dots and things, and the carryover of the white in the sanded paper. That's when you do have a sanded paper or a white core paper, you can sand it and you can get this really cool effect. You can do all sorts of things when you have that. I really like that. You girls with your scones, I'm loving it. Now imagine, right, you're talking about the mini Slimlines. Well, they're so much smaller to deal with. You don't have to worry about anything over here because you only have 6 inches to deal with. So let's see, let's give us 6 inches right here. 6 inches on the clock. Look how much smaller you have to deal with. So that's a whole lot easier space to deal with than that. I'm not even sure that's a great card, but it's an okay card. But those are my landscape Slimlines. Let's see if there's some landscape in here and see how those look. They're just a little chubbier. Now it looks like I made quite a few of these. Wonder why I like these so much better. I think it's just that skinniness too that drove me crazy, even though it's just a ½ inch skinnier. That silly millimeter longer. So here are some little chubbies that are landscape. And they allow you, what I do like about this is you can do a little chubby. They fit into a business size card or envelope. If you have something you want to write or, just make a big statement, I think these are cool. And you can do a 4 1/4 size square. You don't have to even worry, and then just do some matting and pulling the eye over, but not over to another focal point, but just over to the end kind of thing, just a little bit. Oh, let's go look it up. But you can do a smaller focal point, which is really fun. You could, I didn't think I did that. I don't think that works as well on this. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to think that through a little more, but probably not too much. Yep, 6 by 6 folded in half is a mini slimline, and that's a pretty easy little thing to deal with. I don't have any samples of those here. Oh, I do. There's some. This one is really bold. I wonder if I made a slimline. Yeah, I was gonna make a mask for a slimline card, and let's see if we lose just a ½ inch. How would that look? It looks crowded. It just looks crowded to me. I like a little, if I'm going big, I want some room. So this one is nice and bold, and it definitely tells you where to look. This one also is on the side, but the leaves pull you over, as does this little banner. Gives you a little bit of help too. Plus then you've got a little bit of a focal right here with some vellum in there to soften, and you've got a whole nother little pretty picture. And then this just kind of fades off. It's kind of cool. Hey Lee Kendall. This one is like a huge tag, and I liked this one a lot too. This was stamping on some pattern paper. You can use some big letters and some big sentiments on these kind of cards, which is fun. I mean, like, this is pretty big. That would take a chunk of space on an A2, which is fine. But I really like how you can use some bigger sentiments. That's big and bold. That one's not, but you've got it on a bigger focal point. So there's I liked these too. There's some big sentiments right here. And this is such a big sentiment, it wouldn't fit on a regular slimline. It only fits on a little chubby. So, that's a big old honkin' thing. And then just added some little flower stamps around the edges. You've got 2 different looks, nice and clean and bright and pretty, or more rustic and earthy. Yes, more earthy. A little bit. Oh, that is not my favorite white pen that I use now. And then this was the hugs. I went over it with a pen so that you can get a marker, so that we might do that one tonight. Let me pull that out. Here's another little chubby. I just like them better, so we will get them on the wheel someday. This one is a little chubby with a buckle, so that it has a little tag that fits under a buckle. That's kind of a cool little thing. Again, you've got a lot of room for some punch, some boldness. And I like the 8x4 too, Christina, a whole lot. It's just a 8x8 square. So it's simple too. You don't have to worry about oh, now how big is it? It's very, very simple. But I really liked adding a little buckle. I made this quite a while back. But this one's very bold and very bright, and a lot of graphic feel there. I like it. Oh, there's another one. Okay. Let's put you over there. And here's a fun thing. Now, you couldn't do this as well with a slimline because he needs more donuts to be able to do this. This one is a pretty little card, and you can look, paper. You got a little surprise underneath the belly band. Oh my goodness. Paper hugs. Look how cute and how bent that little thing is. But look how cute. I know you're going to want the measurements on here, so let's take them. this is 9.5 by 8, and it is scored on 1 3/4, 5 3/4, and then, oh my golly, I'm not sure. It looks like 3/8, but that's a nuisance, isn't it? 8 and 3, no. 8 and, I never, that's a 4th, that's an 8th. So we would have 1, 2, yeah, 3/8. So 8 and 3/8. You know, you might just flip it around. Let's see if we can flip it around and make it 1 and an 1/8. That's better. So it's 9.5 long by 8. This is scored at 1 3/4, 5 3/4, and then I would flip it around and make it 8 or 1 and an 1/8. And then the way it is folded up is, what one was that? 5 3/4 folds up. The 1 and an 1/8 folds down, and it's covered by this guy who was 1 3/4. Then you just make a belly band. Isn't that pretty? And you have a pretty, pretty card. I really do like that. I forgot how much I like this. But that one is a gorgeous one. Here's another one in more chilling colors. Is this the same numbers? Let's check. 9.5, and it's at 1 3/4, 5 3/4. Oh, this one's easier. And 8.5. It's not quite as big. Doesn't matter. This one's just a little longer. This one is not quite as big. But it might be worth it. A Santa Claus belt buckle slimline would be cute. Yep, it would. Nice big tummy. Yeah, right around there. Just real pretty. So here's another one of those. Oh, here's a slimline. Here's a slimline little chubby. And it is and it also is broken up. It has some background and texture or some pattern paper, and it has little, I love little doors, obviously. Bring on the little flaps. I do have that on the wheel. Fun flaps, after all. So this would definitely be a fun flap. And if you had a little scene or something, wouldn't that be just so cute? Yeah. That would be a cute one too. But that is a little chubby. Where's the other? Let's see what this one looks like next to it. Oh, we are just so, oh my gosh, it really looks very thin. Oh, you need to eat some donuts. I was thinking about eating a donut today. I wonder if it's because I was thinking about little chubbies. I might be a little chubby. Anyway, it's little doors. There they are. But it breaks up the space. It keeps you moving along because you know you're going to be doing this first. You're going to start at the left. Now, if you want to do it backwards, you can mess somebody up. But you could do 1, 2, 3. Look at me. You could do ABCs. You could do all sorts of really fun things on breaking up that space. So there are things I like. Do we have any? Oh, I liked this one too. So we'll look at this. I don't like all of them. This one is also another one with little doors, but it's a little chubby. Look how bright it is. See, I like these colors a whole lot better than this one, but you got to go with what you got to have, what you got to do. This guy has a little belt around it, some twine, and there's your little doors that open up. Apple of my cider donut. Apple of my cider donut, apple of my eye, apple to my pie. I believe I wrote that. So this one, these two are stamps, but I did write the other one. So, you're the, I see. You're the apple to my pie, apple cider to my, whatever it was. Anyway, but it has just one piece of twine holding it down, and then it has little knots on it to make it a little more. Hey, look look at all these little designs here. But that's kind of a cute way to do it too. Another way to break it out, make it interactive, make it a little more fun. Do I have any more of the horizontal ones or portrait? I do. I have no idea I have all these. My gosh, I've made a lot of cards in my life. Here's one. This one's also a little buckle card. Like this. And it just has that little buckle right there. And it just slides right under and holds itself shut. This is non-functioning. Thank you, Heidi Ryan. So, could maybe make one of these with that great big hugs. Maybe. I'll put this up here. Depends on, I didn't eat dinner. It depends on how hungry I get. Here's a long little chubby. Get along, little chubby. And this was made with stencils and ink and an old photo. So that was kind of fun. But friends make everything so much better. It's not a very good photo, but it is just an old photo that's taken. Something kind of different. Something kind of different. Okay, so here's a lesson right here. I know, Lee Kendall, these are from when we were a private university. So it is fun to look at all these. My gosh, I made a lot of stamps. I don't remember. I can't get to those lessons anymore, Lee, from the private site because we had to cannibalize them a little bit to do what we're doing now. But I can get to the old videos, which there's a lot of them. But anyway, here's one. Now, what do you think of this? This is one that needs some help getting your eye from here to here, don't you think? Hey, I got an idea for that. Here it is. There we go. So you add the "because I love you" and it stretches out the whole thing over the whole card. So you're not stuck down there just on the left. You also have some little stickles here to pull at your eye and make you understand, hey, I'm not done. I'm not done right here. We got more to do. We got more. It's talking to your eye. Your cards talk to somebody's eye, which goes right to their brain. And there's really not much time in between those things, but they do actually talk to each other and as a result of what you've got. These are, this is an embossing folder and I cut them up and wove them after I inked them. That's kind of a cool technique too. But I don't want to do that because I get confused and I got confused last week. That was enough. All right. That is enough of that stuff. So there's lots of ideas. You break up the area. Make sure that you get somebody to move their eye from one place to the other. You can do that with ribbon, with twine, with words. If you're all over here on one side, you're not going to feel very balanced. It's going to just feel a little bit like, hey, why didn't they? I honestly get a little bit of a feeling about this being off balance a little bit. But it's kind of like, why didn't they just cut that card off and make it pretty as a A2? It would have been just fine. But you could put something there and then it would be okay, like we did here. And then you've got a great use of space. I think they're fun as far as wanting make a big statement, and that's a good thing. Because there are times as they said in The Crown, there are times you need to be in the castle, not just at, you need to be at Windsor. Isn't that what she said? I think so. When she was making a statement, she wants to be in Windsor. So that's that. Sometimes you do need a big card. Here are a couple tall guys. That's a tall, that's 3.5. Okay, there's a tall, I know, there were some pretty slimline portraits. Oh my goodness, I felt so bad this week. They were gorgeous. Let's look at a few of those and why those work. This one, it just carries right down with the string. This one's got, you can do all sorts of things. If you have some big stamps that you have trouble using on a smaller card, this is a great size. Get out the big stamps for slimlines and for little chubbies. Look how tall that guy looks. Is he like Lurch? No, he's 8.5. Oh my gosh, he just looks so tall because you've got this long drink of a strip going down there. And then you break up the plane. If you just had vertical though, that's another thing to watch out for. If you just have a vertical, then you may have a little bit of a snooze, but go ahead and throw something in there and break that plane with a horizontal element too. You can see that with, well, you've got all these diagonals going on here, but you've also got a bold horizontal look there. And you've got these kind of wiggly things, which make it very informal. So he's a little bit stuffy, but he's got some nice vertical lines and then a little horizontal line to give him a little more interest. Here we are breaking up that plane again of that great big tall drink called a slimline but repeating the pattern. Kind of a crazy darn card that is. I don't know. I must have been in my room all day. Sometimes you can tell. So that one is kind of a crazy card, but you can break the plane not only just horizontally, but vertically to make it more interesting. Here's another one. That was with the stamp that I used. And see, they're sizable stamps. This is a small stamp, but I used a lot of them. So there's different things to think of. But a large stamp on a slimline is a great thing. And, you probably have some, so get them out. There's another one similar using primary colors. I think I was doing a lesson on primary colors. You love these crazy trucks? Well, they're just Smurf. These are just stamped on, it's an outline stamp on some pattern paper. So use it, get the idea. There is some sparkle on it and there's some glossy accents, liquid glass on there for the windows. They are quite fun. This was on a primary color thing, but anyway, again, breaking up the plane so that you have some things to look at and understand. I liked this one. And that was also breaking up the plane by just using different papers. Now, I think what I might, I don't know. I don't know if this is how that works or not. I can't remember. But if you took four different patterns about 3 inches across and 8 inches? 8 inches? Nope, 7.5. 7.5 by, I don't know if this works or not. I can't remember. Let's see. I'll just find some paper. You knew I couldn't just talk about cards. I had to get something out. Got to get something off my chest here. Let's see. I don't know. We'll go with whatever size that works. I am right behind here, picking out some things. That one isn't going to work. This will be odd. I don't think that one's going to work. Oh, that would work. And then maybe, you can't see what I'm doing, but you can guess. You can start pretending that you know. This is not going to be pretty, but it will be instructive. Is that important? Sometimes. Sometimes it's important to be instructive and not pretty. Not very often, though. Let's not get into a habit. Yeah. Okay. I don't even know if this is going to work, but we'll try it. Let's cut some paper 3 inches. This is old and bent up. About time for it to get employed. 3 inches by, oh, that's pretty. What did I say? 7.5. That will be what we do. 3 by 7.5. Let's do another one. This may or may not work. After last week, it didn't work at all. So, and I did put that explosion card on the wheel. So yay. You know, let's not use that. That's ugly. 3 by 7.5. Okie doke. So if we put all these guys together, like so, let's see, it may not work. Hold your breath. Hold your breath. Let's tape these guys together gently. This is some paper that, or some tape that I was using earlier for some scrapbooking. So it's nicely used. It's got fur on it. That's what we like to see. We know there's not going to be a lot of tack left. And then let's just cut some shapes here. So that's going to be together. And that's going to be together. Now let's see how this all works out. Whoopsie. Okie doke. If we can get something similar to that. So, doot. We may or may not be so lucky. And I got some black cardstock here. That was 3, so let's make that, you could do this on some junk paper too. We'll make it 3 1/4, so we have just a little bit of lip. And we'll see if we can pull one off. There's one. And then we'll go for the middle one on the second one. There's 2. By golly. Oh, by gosh, by golly. I think it's going to work. Here we go. So you can make some cards that way and break up the plane by using some diagonals. It should fit together. Oh, isn't that just luck? The luck of the leprechaun right there. I like that very much, actually. So, let's see. You just can't go flipping them around, because if you flip them around, then you're going to have trouble. So you have to leave them as they are. So you're going to have all the sides that you like face up, I believe. You can also overlap it a little bit. Who's going to know? Well, somebody that takes a caliper and measures it, well, they can, if they need to do that, we'll let them do it. There we go. So then that would go on a tall, skinny card, or those slim lines. But you could do it also that way. Yeah. Do we need to ask guests if they are team Slimline? Well, Jessica said she ended up doing some Slimline cards, and she didn't have a horrible time. So that was exciting. She got on the wheel, and it told her to try something new, and she did. Maybe I would like squid. Nah, I don't think so. Okay, so then we can do, then you can get 3 cards pretty fast. And you can add some fun. Oh, this is a very fun thing to do. I'd forgotten about this. Just don't try to flip them around, or, whoopsie, where's the last one? As I try to flip it around. I think I flipped this one around. And that goes right there. Oh, how fun. Anybody want to try this one tonight? I like it. You could run it through an embosser. What size was that? 7? Oh, I'm get a little taller. I can't remember. You could run it through an embosser. You could put gnomes on it, of course. There we go. And then you could have something, oh, this would be pretty fun for a Christmas card, I think. And then you don't even have to do each piece. You can just do some really easy gluing or adhering. Ah! Look at there. You don't even have to have too much paper. Whoopsie. And if you make the mat too short, it's okay. You just squeeze them up a little bit. I may have to draw a gnome for these. But they'd be cute either way. Tall or wide. See? There you go. That's good. And then this one has a little scallop there, and you could add some little strips of glitter paper. All sorts of fun things you can do. That's cool. I like it. I like it. Okay, let's look at some more. And that's just by putting 3 pieces of paper together, adhering them with some really old duct tape or masking tape, doing a little bit of a cut, and then piecing them together. Just don't flip them around because that will make you a little bit crazy. We don't want that. You like that one? Yeah, 3 cards in a flash, and they're going to all be good ways to use pattern paper. Here is the same card except using a different focal point. Looks like I did a bunch of these. No wonder I could do that one. I didn't completely forget and fall apart. There we go. I got one more. A Merry Christmas one. So you do have a lot, you do. You have so much space to be able to use on these things. And they're just not going to take, so you say, oh, but I don't want to waste all the card size. It's not. It's not. You're not. If you like it, and you want to use some bold, big things, this is a great way to do it. Some big die cut pieces? Oh, yeah. Really simple. That was really quite simple. And then this one, what do we do here? Oh, I did the same thing, just cut it apart a little bit and added some metallic paper in the middle. And I wrote that. So that's kind of fun. So those are all using that same little ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk. I'm sure that's a technical crafting term. Ka-dunk, ka-dunk, ka-dunk. Here's a couple more. These are so fun. These are so fun. I'm so glad I pulled all these things out. I'm so glad. Because there's more to show. Okay, so here's one. You've got a lot of busyness in there because you've got that paper that's saying, whoa, you must look at me. Enjoy my entirety. You've got a bunch of little tiny things. This one's really, I like it, but it's not a strong design. So, oh, you mailed 9 cards today. I mailed 1 today. So yay. Yay for you, Heidi Bryan. And this one is, this one actually is a little bit better design-wise. And the reason I said this is not all that great a design, this is nice and it has a nice contrast to it, but it's small and feels very insignificant. I appreciate you, but not much. I guess that would be a great thing to say. This would be a great card to send to somebody that you didn't appreciate much. This would be a better card just to say, hey, here's a little hello to brighten your day. That would have been such a better thing than I appreciate you a little bit. So just think of proportion a little bit when you've got this big space, because it is it's gonna get lost. So you got a lot of tumbly stuff going on here, and I really do like the coloring on that. That was something I stamped and colored. I think it looks good, but I lost it right here. It happens. Here we've got a little bit of a base down here that's crooked. Hey, that's nice. Nice little effect there. But it does hold its place there. It says, I'm done. We're done right here. Don't look any farther. This is pretty busy, but if you had a busy person that likes busy stuff, this would be, hang 10, let's do it. And then this one's, because this is very white and black, it does stand out a little better than this, which was painted. So I appreciate you a little. Little hugs and kisses. That's not going to be as much punch as hugs. So see how much this just shouts at you almost. Hugs! This one, hugs and kisses and best wishes. So that's okay. You know, you have that option when you're sending somebody a card, how much love you want to include. Whether you want to just appreciate them a little bit or give them a great big hello. Man, I'm glad you are there and I want to brighten your day. Or a few little hugs and kisses. It's all fine. This one is a fun little guy. He's got, I think he pulls out. Yep, you've got little tags in here. But he seems to have some little glue things going on in here. So he just has some pull-out tags, which are always a fun little extra. And that's just folded so that you can do that. I don't think it's hard. And there's lots of tutorials on it. And maybe someday we'll do it. But once again, you had this great big space. And the element it takes up more than half. But you did have to have something down here at the bottom. Otherwise, it was going to just be it just didn't have enough to hold it all together that much up there. It could have just been a 5x7. But, you know, just think about it. If you see some space at the end and you go, well, maybe, you know, maybe a bow, maybe some strips, maybe a sentiment. I don't know. But, oh, falling for autumn. Oh, that could be dangerous. So anyway, that's that. This was, does this open or anything? No. This was some acetate front, which is pretty. It was printed acetate, and so it was easy to make. Does it move? Oh, it does move. Okay. Yeah, I thought it did. So it comes up, and you can write something, but then it's going to gunk all that up. So, but it is a good way to put the acetate and hold it down so that it doesn't move around. Put it on with a little hinge in the back of the mat underneath it. But that's a good way to hold down acetate, or you don't have to worry about glue. This is a fun little thing. Now, this is a deal that probably an A2 card wouldn't be as, you like the skull one? You like a small amount of hugs and kisses. Then this is something that maybe you might not do for an A2, but you could do a mini journal inside, or you can put little notepads inside. This one really does hold something, quite a bit. This is copy paper, and I just cut it all at the one time and did a little flap at the top and put it on a piece of cardstock, and voila, you've got notes. You could write a novel, a small novel, as it were, but you could write a small little, if you had a lot to tell somebody, or you could make a little scrapbook. I happen to love making little scrapbooks. So this would make a great little scrapbook gift. I did not give myself much room. This little chubby has a little chubby problem right here in the pocket. It needs, the glue had a little chubby problem. It needed to be on the outside a little more. So this could have been a little slimliner in here for my little chubby pockets. But I think that one's darn cute. I like bright. So there you go. Running out here, we're getting real low. Here's one. Oh, this was a fun little thing because I used embossing pens, and I wrote my own hugs to my bud. And this was done with stencils, marker. I think that was a stencil, and then did a marker on top of the stencil. That looks cool. Just some cardstock to match, and then another stencil with some marker on top of it. Here's something we haven't done on Craft Roulette for a while, ever. But can you imagine that as a perimeter? Stencil and then marker on top of it. I think everybody would shut the TV off, so to speak. You found gnome lights. Oh my gosh, how fun. But this was just using an embossing pen and wrote my own. And I made it look so that like it was junkety because I didn't want to worry about it being fancy and well done. So I thought that was really a fun little card. Hugs for my bud. Hugs to my bud. I like it. Here's one that was woven again, and then some tails. And see, the here is a basic small square card again. You could keep it there, but if you want to make a bigger statement, add it to a little chunky, a little chubby, and then add some tails so that it pulls your eye down. It works. It really, really works. And then this Thanks is a reasonable size, and it's not real bossy. I think I could have gotten a little bolder on that, but it's not bad. You know, I don't know. I'm overthinking it, but it's okay. It's you wouldn't want just keep proportion in mind when you've got these big guys to work with. You've got a great opportunity to use some of your bigger stamps, so or your embossing pens. And so just take advantage of them. This one was, I did a class on Fun University, and I think it was a style hack, and this was a style hack of Gina K. So, but it was, I was honest. I said it's a style hack. This is a Gina K type card, and it is very lovely. But look how much space you've got, and you've got so much space you can make a very dramatic statement. And all that embossing, oh man, that looks pretty cool. And that was a stencil with Versamark in the stencil and then gold embossed. That's very, very fancy. And that is it. That's all I've got for tonight, but holy smokes, that's a lot. So I was going to show you this, but you know, I don't even know where the darn stamp is. But this was, I did show you something, so I don't feel as bad as I could. I could feel real bad, but I will go ahead and pull these out and try to make something with my life and something with these card fronts all at the same time. Did I lose one? One went AWOL. Oh, great. Okay, I will find it and I will use it, but I will make something with it, and by tomorrow I'll have something for you, Lord willing, the creek don't rise. So, where did that last one go? Where is? I can lose things so fast. I'm not even, my mask isn't even masky. Holy smokes. Isn't that just remarkable? That is just remarkable. Are two of them on here? Well, got me. Okay, well, I guess that's a pretty good indicator that I need to quit. So, that's all I got. 2 out of 3. These will be cute when I get done, I hope. Thanks for walking through all those cards. Holy smokes. The explosion card, if we do have the explosion card on the craft roulette, I will do it. It's not hard. But it is really, really easy if you measure right. Merry math. It's always a mystery. So just measure from side to side, not from corner to corner, or you will end up with a headache. And I don't want anybody to have a headache. I had one last week. It was bad. Didn't like it at all. Don't suggest it. Thank you so much for walking through all these cards. I'll have to count them up, but I don't know if I can count that high. And, oh, I do have some monsters to show you real fast. Just a second. I was going to do something. I don't know. I was going to do like a reel. So, you know, you can make monsters. You can make them there very fast with the letter U. You lose everything on your mask. Oh, I tell you, it just disappears. So just make a U. Don't get the stick on it. And then flip that baby over. And so now it looks like a croquet wicket. And you can make that little guy into a monster. That's kind of a crazy looking thing. Or you can even make him into a ghosty. Just by doing some wiggle lines here or some furry lines here. Couple sticks down for feet or legs and some letter D's. There's a letter B or a couple letter D's for his little feet. Or some triangles, whichever you like. Anyway, if you do want to if we still get monsters, I want you guys to be ready. Memory decks on the wheel. Do you have memory decks on the wheel? I don't even know what memory decks is. Is that like the Rolodex thing? I want you to be ready. So there's a couple card ideas for you if we get monsters. That's not a monster, but just make the letter U, turn it upside down so it looks like a croquet wicket. Add some fur and some eye stalks aligned with some point triangles or some wiggly things and some legs and feet. You got it. So we've got you ready for the wheel for Friday night. I don't know what we'll get. It's fun. You guys have been blowing my mind with your submissions. Oh my gosh. You're so good. You're so good. All right. Well done, crew. I want to, homework. Make a little chubby or a little slimline if you want. Tell us how you're going to break up the field. That would be a good thing. Help us know how you broke up the field or moved the eye from one side to the other or top to bottom. And think about proportion of your big stamps. Think of the proportion of your sentiments so that somebody doesn't feel like you only appreciate them just a little tiny bit. You want to feel, use those big spaces for big messages and big statements. And yeah, I already did it, but I'm doing it again. And one for you if you're too embarrassed to do it. I know it. It landed right on your noggin. We will see you Friday night with Leslie Benson. She is a doll. She really is. I look forward to seeing you. Night, night.